guys, so today was the day that I've been waiting for. Oh my god, I didn't think I'd start crying already. I know that you guys have been really worried about me because I've obviously had a couple of breakdowns and I started crying a few times and had to just turn away from the camera because of what's been happening with me the last few weeks. This is going to be like all over the place and I'm really sorry, so just try to bear with me. Oh man, I can't believe this already. Today's been a really rough day because I got up at 5 with Kurt and we had to go to the doctor. We had to drive a few hours to go see a specialist. You guys know that I have like the most severe form of rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed a decade ago, and back then I had told my doctor about symptoms that I had that, you know, had started in my feet and that were progressing and getting worse and worse and worse. And for about a year it went undiagnosed, where had it been caught when I first brought it to the attention, I would have only been on like Celebrex, just a pill a day, and it would have been a mild form of arthritis and I would have been leading a normal life. But because it went left alone and untreated, one day I had woken up and I couldn't move. Like, I literally woke up frozen, like every joint. You could not move anything in my body, not even my jaw. My parents had to like pry my jaw open to help get painkillers down my throat, and they had to braid my hair and had to help wash it, and it was like a nightmare. I had to get around in a wheelchair for a while. I couldn't even walk. Like I couldn't take a step. I couldn't do anything. I had to take 2 terms off of school from undergrad, and then I ended up taking 4 terms off from law school because my medical issues were just so severe. I'm on 3 injections a week. I take Enbrel and methotrexate. Methotrexate causes spontaneous abortions, and I'm also on like Arthritis. I'm on a whole array of medications to deal with my post-traumatic stress disorder, my anxiety disorder, panic disorder, my OCD that developed because of my domestic violence relationship. So I'm on a lot of different meds, and they all tell you that like you can't ever get pregnant. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So I've been on the pill. I started the pill 5 years before my diagnosis. I've been taking it for 15 years. And I am like the most anal person in this world. And I've been taking it at 4 o'clock every single day since I started taking it 15 years ago, because I started in high school. And my high school let out at 4 o'clock. So my routine would be to pop the pill right in my locker before leaving the school. And then 4 o'clock just always stuck with me. And I had like this internal clock go off ever since. And it is so eerie. My parents can't believe it. Kurt can't believe it. Friends can never believe it. It's like, I just know when 4 p.m. rolls around, even when we're like someplace. I've been all around the world, 5-hour time change, 6-hour time change, as much as an 8-hour time change. And I know when it is 4 p.m. back home, even when it's an 8-hour time change, that it's time to take my birth control pill. So I'm very, very safe. And then I'm on all these medications that cause significant birth defects and cause spontaneous abortions. So there's all these things that go on that really there's like no way for me to even get pregnant. But when I got diagnosed 10 years ago, I was told that if I ever somehow got pregnant and it the swimmers got past all of those medications, I would never be able to carry a baby to term because of the combination of medications I'm on. So I tried to play around with getting off of methotrexate because that's the one that causes spontaneous abortions. And they actually use it in France for abortion purposes. And we tried switching me to the pill form first to get me off of the injection because that was the most harsh. And when we switched me to the pill form, my body had such an adverse reaction that my whole body went back to initially like the stage that it was in post or pre the aggressive treatment that I had received, because I underwent like severe aggressive treatment. Like I'm talking, I had hair loss, I had like huge inside mouth ulcers, I had rashes down my face, my neck from like the steroid treatment. I was first on Humira, that didn't work for me. Like I had a really bad reaction because we had to get me on such aggressive therapy to try to get me completely mobile, which thank goodness I am, but it's at like a very, very, very bad cost to my health. And so when we realized that my body couldn't handle the pill form of methotrexate and that it needed methotrexate or essentially every other medication I was taking for my arthritis was useless, we put me back on the max dose of methotrexate possible. And that's even the max dose for any body weight, and I'm petite. So then we tried playing with the dosage. So every month I tried to knock it down a notch. So there's like a full milliliter like needle, you know, there's 10 notches. So every month I tried to go down a notch. So then I went down to 0.9, then, you know, a month later 0.8, and then I was okay. And then by the time I got to 0.3, I had a complete relapse all over again. And my doctors were like, your body can't handle doing this again because we tried it twice. And if you do this again, you're totally jeopardizing being in a wheelchair for the rest of your life and having permanent joint damage and not having any mobility. You're even risking not being able to talk because it had attacked your jaw once before, and I still suffer from really bad flare-ups in the jaw where it attacks all in here, and it gets to the point where I can't even eat apples, like to this day, when I have my bad flare-ups. So we realized that I couldn't get off of medications. So then I started talking about the possibility for, you know, if my eggs are still viable, if you know, ever having a surrogate would be an option. And I've talked to a couple of doctors and they don't think my eggs are viable. They think that they're essentially poisoned from my medications, but they're not sure. I have to see another specialist. Well, 4 weeks ago, I missed my first period ever. So obviously right away I went into like panic mode, excitement mode, like everything mode, just overwhelmed because I had never missed a period in my life. I didn't know how it would be possible that I could be pregnant. So I took an at-home pregnancy test and it came back as a maybe result, which I didn't even know existed. But a maybe result is when you have, you know, you have the positive side, which gives you a plus sign, and the negative side gives you a negative sign. But the maybe is the negative coming back vertically and the positive coming back horizontally. So that's what I kept getting whenever I took the at-home one, because they couldn't detect whether my levels were high enough or not, but they were detecting levels. So I called my doctor and he took a blood test on a Thursday. Now, today's Tuesday, April 4th, that I'm filming this right now, which is the day that I went to see my doctor for the ultrasound. And when he did the blood work a week and a half ago, like Thursday, a week and a half ago. Today's Tuesday, a week and a half ago. But then I got the results back a week ago, yesterday, that they were positive. And when I talked to him, he said that there was no way, like, there was no possibility of me making it to term with this baby. So I tried to talk to him about like what my options could be, and he just said that, if I came off of methotrexate again, one, I'm already at least a month into the pregnancy, if not more. It could be as much as 10 weeks, because my last period before that had been so weird that there was a possibility it was that far along, but he didn't think so. He thought it was more like the 4-week mark. And he said I can't come off of it without jeopardizing my health. And then, if I'm in a wheelchair and I can't move and I can't speak, and I mean, we were going over everything. He was just laying everything out and just saying that even if I came off of the methotrexate, I couldn't come off of anything else, and everything else is like still guaranteeing like really bad side effects. So I went for my ultrasound today, and I was really scared going in today because the last 3 days I've had such severe cramping and such significant bleeding that I had suspected that I was already miscarrying, and I found out today that I was. And when I had my ultrasound, they could see the fetus, and they said that the fetus is still inside me, but it's dead now. But it just hasn't passed yet. So that's why the last few days, the last few weeks, I keep trying to film and distract myself, because I've been trying to deal with like all of these thoughts and what to do and how to deal with this, and not knowing what to do. And all of a sudden it was like the possibility that I could actually have a baby, but then that possibility was like instantly taken away from me. But I had accepted it 10 years ago, but then all of a sudden it was real, and then it was like not real. I just don't even know how to explain what it did to me. But then when I met with my doctor today and I had that ultrasound, and she said that she can see the fetus in there, but there was no movement, and she could see that it's in the stages of the miscarriage, so it makes sense with the last 3 days, with what I explained to her, with how much bleeding has been going on and how much cramping has been going on, and that by looking at everything, she was really thorough with the ultrasound. She said, yeah, you've miscarried and it's gone, you just haven't passed it yet. And so now I'm sorry, you guys. So now she said that my next step is to wait for another week. She said I'm going to continue to keep bleeding. I have to go back in a week and do another ultrasound. And if the fetus is still in me, then they have to suction it out, because I'll have a significant risk of infection if this dead baby is still in me. And I just can't believe I have a dead baby in me and that I lost my baby. My baby with Kurt. So, and then she said if I go through stages of like blood clotting, and like all of a sudden it turns into clots rather than just bleeding, then chances are that it will have passed on its own, and then I don't need to have any kind of surgery to have the rest of it sectioned out, and then I'll be okay. So now it's just like a waiting game. But I can't even begin to tell you guys the feeling of like knowing you're pregnant and then knowing that you've miscarried. And I've known for the last 3 days that I've been miscarrying based on the cramping and the bleeding and like the emotions that I've been feeling. I just knew it was happening. And then to have that confirmation today, and then to now know that I have my baby's dead inside and hasn't passed. So I'm really sorry for having worried all of you guys. I kept trying to tell you guys that it was not anything that was like life-threatening for me. You know, I didn't want any of you guys thinking that I was like dying of cancer or, you know, something like that. This is obviously still something very significant, but I know it's like, I know Janet was freaking out and I saw some of her comments and I felt so bad, but this is obviously something that I couldn't just like type and respond to, and I didn't have any kind of actual answers to give. Today's the first day that I actually had like a definitive answer. So this is where it stands, and then I'll give you guys an update, I guess in like just over a week when I know what my next step is, if I have to have the surgery or if my body does the remaining part naturally like it did the last 3 days, which I just so hope it does, because I don't want to have any kind of surgery. I obviously don't want to have any risk of infection either, and I don't, as much as I wanted this to work, I also don't want anything done inside of me either, so that's everything. I don't really know what else to say, and so I guess that's it. I don't even know how to sign off from this, just that I love you guys, and thank you guys so much for all of your support and your love and all of your positive energy and all of your long distance love and hugs and positive vibes and all of your well wishes and thoughts and all of your comments. Like I said, I really truly do read every single comment. I really do, and I just have not been able to get on the computer and answer every one of them because one, I have been filming like crazy. I've been busting my butt for a couple of reasons. One, for distraction. Two, because I love you guys and I want to just keep the footage coming for you and keep you guys all up to date on like new releases and keep the looks coming for you and, you know, keep everything fun rolling. So it does really help to film and keep my mind off of things while I'm like playing in makeup, and you know, it gives me a temporary relief. But once the filming ends, I just break down and I just can't pull myself together to come back on and and answer comments. So I know I've really fallen behind over the last month, but this is why. And I'm so sorry that I have, and I've really tried to keep up with as much commenting back to you guys as I can, but I promise you there's not a single comment that I have not read, because I see them light up on my phone, and everything that comes through at least makes me smile, and it gives me like, even if it's like a 3 seconds of a reading of a comment, it is a 3-second break from reality, and I still read it. And then if it's a request, I take that time to write it down so I don't forget. I jot it down in Evernote, so I keep all the requests there. Any product recommendations, I write it down in Evernote. Like, it's just, I really do. So, because I know a lot of YouTubers say that, and I don't know if they actually do it, but I really do. Honest to God, I do actually read everything, and I do keep track of everything. And if you don't hear back from me, I have read it. All of the emails that have been coming in from the giveaways. I'm sorry I haven't been answering you guys, but I've been writing your names down, and then all the screenshots you've been sending me, I've been writing down all of the extra entries. I haven't missed a single email. So if anybody's been like wondering, like, has she received it? I have received it, and I've written your name down, and I've written the entries down. I'm sorry I have such a bad headache, but I promise you, I care about you guys so much. Nothing goes unnoticed, even though I've been dealing with all of this for the last few weeks, and then especially the last 3 days, because I just knew I was miscarrying. I still didn't let this get in the way of you guys. I still kept up with it, so I just want you to know that. Okay, so I need to go rest. It is like midnight right now, and I've had a really rough day. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna go take some pain medication because my headache is just out of control. Everything is just killing me. I just still can't believe I miscarried our baby. But I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for everything you do for me. I don't think you'll ever understand how much you do for me. I really don't think you'll understand ever, which is why I always want to try to give back as much as I can. So, I promise that there's a lot of good videos coming your way. I have like, oh my gosh, like 25 videos coming your way that are all positive ones. Some still have a couple little breakdowns in them, but you've got a lot of good videos coming your way. This one was just a bad one, but I wanted to let you know now that I have answers, even though they were bad ones. So yes. Oh my god. So there's the update and what has been going on, and I'm so sorry for worrying all of you. But I am okay, and I'll be okay, and Kurt will be okay. I feel really bad for my mom and dad too, because they've wanted a grandchild since as long as I can remember, and I know that they're being so strong for me, but I can only imagine how this is affecting them, and they are putting on such a strong front for me. But I feel so bad for my parents, and they keep telling me that it's all about Kurt and me, and I still feel so bad for them too, because I know how badly they want a grandbaby, and I can't give it to them too, and that's another thing that's like eating away at me. But that's just a personal issue that I have to deal with and move past, because they keep reassuring me that like all they care about is my well-being and me, and that I'm okay. I feel like I need to throw up right now. Okay. I gotta sign off. So thank you guys for everything and for being so understanding and supportive and loving, and you guys really truly are incredible. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. I love you guys. Good night. Bye.